bookworms, welcome to Munchkin Land. Today in this retro review I'll be talking about The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, a book so famous it doesn't really need any introduction because you already know all about it. But is what you remember from the book really from the original or from one of the many adaptations it received throughout the years? But before I get into it, I just want to quickly remind you that you can still get a 30-day free trial by Audible by using my link. It will be down in the description box. Click on it and then you'll get 2 free audiobooks from Audible and a chance to check them out for free for 30 days. So click it for more information. Now, back to the book. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was written in 1900 by L. Frank Baum and is probably one of the most famous kids' books ever. I know you already know the plot, but I'll sum it up quickly anyway. Dorothy, a Kansas girl, and her dog Toto are carried away by a cyclone and find themselves in a magical kingdom. Their only way to get back home is to find the wonderful wizard, and on her way to find him in his Emerald City residence, Dorothy meets and befriends a brainless scarecrow, a heartless woodsman, and a cowardly lion who all join her so that the wizard can help them as well. So I read this book in like 4 hours and it was so cute. I loved it. I had so much fun reading it. It was absolutely adorable. Look, this book is ridiculously famous, and not just because of the original book, but because of the numerous adaptation it got, and references, and special themed episode in different TV shows from Scrubs to Phineas and Ferb. And because of this incredible fame, some people I think forget this is purely a children's book. It does have some really great messages for all ages, but don't expect to find some really deep allegorical meaning in it. Speaking of adaptations, it's no secret that the most famous version of this book is the 1939 movie version starring Judy Garland. So much so that many people kind of confuse what they know from this version and the original one. So while I was reading the book, I noticed some really cool, interesting changes between the movie and the book, like the fact that there are actually 2 good witches in it. One appears at the beginning when Dorothy just lands in Munchkin Land, and the other one actually sends her home. These are actually 2 different witches. Or the fact that the Wicked Witch of the West is not green, but she does have 1 eye. And my favorite change, the fact that the shoes, the magical shoes, are actually silver and not red. Just a little bit of random trivia. The reason that in the movie they were red was because that in 1939 Technicolor was a pretty new thing, so they wanted to make as eye-popping color as possible on screen. But the biggest change, and the one that I actually want to talk about, is the characters of Dorothy's companion. If you remember, the Scarecrow wants a brain from the wizard, the Tin Man wants a heart, and the Lion wants to be brave. But at the end we realized that they actually had these things all along in them. You all know that, right? That's not a spoiler. But in the book, the characters are a lot more developed. The Scarecrow is the one who usually comes up with the smart ideas, the Lion saves the gang many times from predators, and the Woodsman does show emotion. We also delve deeper into the characters and what make them who they are. The Scarecrow, for example, thought at the beginning that he's just as good as any other man. But it was another character who told him that he doesn't have a brain and therefore lesser than others, and that brain is the most important thing. The Lion, on the other hand, is crumbling under the pressure of being the king of the animals, and it's because that everyone else expects him to be so brave and terrifying that he becomes really self-conscious and therefore cowardly. So he roars to pretend he's brave, and this is saying something about social pressure, isn't it? And how we sometimes chase things that people tell us or we think that will bring us joy, even if we don't really know why we even need them. And of course, there is also the message of self-worth and believing in yourself. I really like this part in the book, and honestly, I didn't expect it. I find it's a very smart message to give to kids. In addition, the book also has a lot of really cool quotable moments. Let me share with you my favorite quote. "Have you brains?" asked the Scarecrow. "I suppose so. I never look to see," replied the Lion. I don't know, I just thought it was very cute. So to conclude, this is a wonderful children's classic with an interesting adventure story and great messages for both the young and old. It's a must for kids, but I can't really say that it holds a deeper meaning for adults. It's a pure children's book, but a very cute and sweet one that can still captivate readers more than a century after it was written. And that's it for my review, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to click like to show your support. Subscribe to my channel for more classic reviews, and also write down in the comments section, first, if you've read The Wizard of Oz or any of its sequel, and second, what is your favorite version of The Wizard of Oz? I think mine is the themed episode, My Way Home from Scrubs, where JD is the Dorothy of this episode, and he's kind of trapped in the hospital and tries to find his way home. So guys, again, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out Audible. The link is in the description box, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.